Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live more happily and fully than ever as they enter their later years, while others appear to merely wait for time to pass? With advancements in healthcare and increasing life expectancy, this stage of life should be a time to enjoy, to truly live as oneself. Yet many still fall into feelings of emptiness, loneliness, or live within invisible limitations of their own making. Mrs. Evelyn, 74, lives in Florida. She was once a teacher, led a healthy lifestyle, and had a fulfilling family life. But after her husband passed away and her children grew up, she gradually withdrew. She no longer enjoyed dancing, reading, or chatting with friends as she used to. And she didn't realize that this very withdrawal was silently draining her vitality day by day. Sadly, such small but quiet mistakes are very common and often overlooked. They don't cause immediate consequences, but over time, they can lead to declining health, emotional deterioration, and the loss of a precious connection to life. If you are entering old age or have a loved one in this stage, today's content might serve as a gentle but important reminder. You will learn to recognize 5 common mistakes that many people make, along with simple but effective ways to live healthier, happier, and more meaningfully each day. Stay with us until the end, because sometimes just one small change can be enough to help you, or someone you love, begin a brighter new chapter. And if you've ever seen yourself, or someone you care about, quietly enduring old age, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. We are not alone, and we can always begin again, starting today. Now let's explore the 5 common mistakes and the inspiring paths to overcome them. We all know that health is the foundation of a quality life. But sadly, as people grow older, many accept the decline in physical and mental well-being as something inevitable. Have you ever thought, at this age, it's normal to get weaker? That may sound reasonable, but could it be causing us to give up too soon on things that are still within our power to improve? In fact, science has shown that many health issues in older adults, from high blood pressure and heart problems to depression, are not an unavoidable consequence of aging, but often the result of a sedentary lifestyle, an unbalanced diet, and neglected mental care. With modern medicine and abundant senior support programs, we could be living healthier for longer if we know how to maintain good habits. Yet many people fall into the trap of quiet resignation. After retirement, routines are disrupted, feelings of loneliness increase, and the inspiration to live slowly fades. Sitting for hours watching TV, eating without control, no longer walking or reading. These behaviors quietly become habits without people realizing they are harming themselves. And the effects are not just physical. The mind slows down, the spirit becomes more unstable, and a sense of disconnection from life takes root. But the good news is, we can do things differently. Health, even when it has declined, can still be improved with the right investment. Don't wait until a doctor gives you a warning to make changes. Each day is a new opportunity to choose something better for yourself. The solution doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to join a gym or enroll in advanced classes. Just take 20 to 30 minutes each day to walk around your neighborhood, dance to a favorite song, or try a few basic yoga poses at home. As for your diet, focus on leafy greens, lean proteins, drink enough water, and cut back on processed foods. The mind also needs nurturing, just like the body. Reading, learning a new skill, solving puzzles, or simply chatting with neighbors and joining a local community group, all of these stimulate the brain and keep the spirit refreshed. Many libraries, community centers, and nonprofits offer free or low-cost classes for seniors. Use them as precious gifts of aging. You don't need to become an athlete or a scholar. All you need is a commitment to care for yourself each day. You'll find your body becoming lighter, your mind clearer, and joy returning naturally. Old age is not the final chapter. It can be the most beautiful one, if you're willing to write it your own way. But sometimes, it's not just physical or mental health that's neglected. Some people turn to seemingly harmless habits to fill the emptiness inside, and the consequences can be deeper than we realize. Let's explore the next mistake. Many people, upon entering retirement, find themselves feeling emptier than ever, despite having more free time. The absence of a clear purpose, combined with a sense of being lost in a world that seems to move too fast, often leads older adults to seek out habits that soothe them without realizing these are merely temporary fixes that can become addictive and diminish their quality of life. Have you ever thought, watching a few hours of TV a day is harmless, or a little wine at night helps me sleep? These seemingly harmless actions, when repeated frequently, can gradually turn into dependencies, pulling seniors away from real-life engagement and reducing their ability to make healthy, intentional choices for themselves. The truth is, the emptiness that comes from no longer having a job or a clear social role often drives people to behaviors that help them forget the uncertainty, like sitting in front of the screen for hours, eating mindlessly, overindulging in alcohol, or even playing video games or shopping excessively. These habits don't just waste precious time. They also impact physical health, mental well-being, and finances. More importantly, they stand in the way of rediscovering a deeper sense of life's meaning. But that doesn't mean we must continue to endure in silence. Once recognized, these patterns can be redirected from addictive habits to soul-nourishing activities. The first step is to listen to yourself. Instead of trying to fill the void with easy distractions, be honest about your feelings. Are you lonely, anxious, or feeling lost? Naming these emotions is the first step toward not letting them control you. Next, choose one small but meaningful action to replace the negative habit. Instead of turning on the TV, try going for a walk outside, visiting the library, journaling, or starting a new hobby. Community organizations often offer programs for seniors, painting, pottery, group gatherings, or volunteering. These don't just fill the hours, they awaken a sense of usefulness, connection, and renewed joy in living. Another helpful tip is to create a daily routine, just like during your working years. Set aside specific times for exercise, recreation, socializing, and learning. Maintaining a purposeful rhythm helps prevent unconscious slipping into negative behaviors. Most importantly, remember, you don't have to face this alone. If you feel you're depending on a habit that you can't control, don't hesitate to seek help from a counselor. Mental health services are increasingly accessible, especially for seniors. Asking for help is not weakness. It's a courageous act toward living better. Instead of using external distractions to fill an inner void, choose to face it and heal it from the inside out. Aging doesn't have to be quiet or dull. It can be the time when you live most authentically, most deeply, and most connected to yourself. Because next, we'll talk about another silent habit with equally destructive power: the victim mindset. Let's continue. There is a more subtle habit, one that doesn't come from external actions, but from the way we think about ourselves: the victim mindset. This is a state in which we often feel like we are being treated unfairly, are simply unlucky, or have no other choice. Especially in old age, when losses accumulate over the years, loss of loved ones, of health, of social status. This mindset can take root deeply if left unrecognized. Have you ever thought, "My life has been too hard already. What's the point of changing now?" Or, "Everything went wrong, and none of it was my fault"? These thoughts might seem reasonable, even elicit sympathy, but when prolonged, they become an invisible cage, trapping you in the past and clouding every opportunity in the present. Although there are many resources available to support older adults, many still live with a sense of being abandoned or misunderstood. Part of this stems from society, but another part, which few dare to confront, comes from within. When we hold on to pain without healing, when we blame circumstances without stepping outside our comfort zone, we are unknowingly handing over the control of our lives to the past. But let's pause and reflect. What would happen if we changed our perspective? What if every wound was a profound lesson, and every loss an invitation to live more meaningfully? Stepping out of the victim mindset doesn't mean denying the pain. It means refusing to let it dictate the rest of your life. One of the most powerful tools to shift your mindset is gratitude. Writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day, no matter how small, like morning sunlight, a phone call, or a good meal, can gradually transform your mind. The human brain is wired to detect threats and negativity for survival, but we can train it to recognize the positive. Additionally, practicing forgiveness for others and for yourself can free you from invisible chains. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing mistakes. It means giving yourself permission to move forward. Try writing a letter of forgiveness, even if you don't send it, or share your long-held feelings with someone you trust. And don't forget one incredibly effective remedy: helping others. When you share your story, join a volunteer effort, or simply listen to someone in need of a friend, you'll feel your sense of value more clearly than any compliment ever could. Thousands of organizations are looking for people with time, experience, and a heart like yours, if only you're willing to knock on the door. When you let go of the victim role, you don't just reclaim control over your life. You open up space for growth, healing, and true connection. And that may be the greatest gift of aging, the ability to make peace with the past and live fully in the present. Up next, we'll explore another quiet but damaging habit: ignoring financial realities. Stay with us. On the journey into old age, there is one aspect that is often overlooked until it leads to a real crisis: personal finances. Many seniors find themselves facing stress, dependence, or a loss of autonomy simply because they had ignored financial reality for years. Nobody likes to talk about money in later life, but it is that very silence that often makes the problem worse. Have you ever told yourself, "I've worked all my life, now it's time to enjoy without worrying"? It sounds reasonable, until medical bills skyrocket, the cost of living rises, or an unexpected emergency occurs with no financial cushion. The feeling of losing financial control in old age doesn't just create anxiety, it directly impacts quality of life, the ability to make choices, and one's sense of dignity. Many older adults continue to spend emotionally, shopping to soothe feelings, over-supporting children beyond their means, or postponing budgeting because it feels uncomfortable to face the numbers. Others are overly optimistic, believing Social Security will be enough, or avoiding financial advice out of fear of appearing foolish. None of us was formally taught how to prepare financially for post-retirement life, so if you feel like you haven't done well, it's okay. What matters is, you still have time to change. Start by facing your current financial situation honestly. Summarize your income, list your fixed expenses, and track your daily spending for at least a month. Seeing clearly where your money is going will help you make smarter adjustments. Next, learn to live within your means. This doesn't mean giving up joy. It means prioritizing what truly matters. A weekend picnic with friends may bring more happiness than online purchases that only offer fleeting excitement. Don't forget to build an emergency fund. Even a small one saved gradually can help you stay stable in unexpected situations. Also, consider meeting with a financial advisor or using free counseling services from non-profit organizations. They can help you build a suitable spending plan, optimize insurance, and guide you through benefits like Medicare, food assistance, or energy support programs. Another key skill is learning to say no when needed, even to loved ones. Supporting your family is noble, but it shouldn't come at the cost of your own stability and independence. Remember, you can't help anyone if you fall into a crisis yourself. When you take charge of your finances, you'll feel more confident, more at ease, and better able to choose a life that reflects your true values, instead of being shackled by hidden anxieties. Old age shouldn't be a time of scraping by or hiding financial struggles. It can be a time of freedom, peace, and living fully in line with what you cherish most. And sometimes, the delays that seem harmless are exactly what cause people to miss their most precious opportunities. Let's move on to the final mistake, one that many recognize only when it's already too late. One of the most silent yet common mistakes in old age is waiting. Waiting for someday to call a loved one, to begin a long-held dream, or to say what's been kept inside for too long. Waiting until we feel strong enough, have enough money, or find the time. But the truth is, that day may never come, and we often realize it only after small, precious opportunities have quietly passed us by. Have you ever asked yourself, what have I always wanted to do, but never dared to begin? Maybe it's a trip, a class, a letter, or simply an overdue conversation. The hesitation doesn't come from circumstances. It comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of not being capable anymore. But sadly, it is this very fear that truly steals away our chance to live fully in old age. Many older adults, even with the means, health, and time, continue to postpone living the way they truly want, because they've spent a lifetime putting others first, or they think it's too late now anyway. But aging is not the end. It is a rare time when you no longer need to compete, prove anything, or chase after others' expectations. You have the right to choose what really matters to you. If there's something you've always wanted to do, don't wait any longer. Start with the smallest action. Call an old friend, sign up for an art class, write down an old dream in your journal, or simply step outside and say hello to your neighbor. The action doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be real. There are many programs that help seniors pursue their dreams, from group travel and non-credit university courses to joining local clubs. Many people have learned to play an instrument at 80, written a book at 75, or climbed their first mountain after retiring. What they had in common wasn't their circumstances, but their decision to stop waiting. If you're hesitating, ask yourself, if not now, then when? And if you find yourself held back by reasonable excuses, know that they are just fears in disguise. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action in spite of it. Aging doesn't limit you. It's the thought, I'm too late, that does. Try going somewhere you've never been, doing something you've never done, or reviving a feeling you thought was lost. You may not control the length of your life, but you can absolutely shape the depth of each moment. And when you take action, even the smallest step, you send a message to yourself: I'm still alive, and I choose to live fully. Thank you for staying with me until this moment. Your presence here shows that you truly care about the quality of your life, or that of someone you love, during this important stage, and that is something truly worth honoring. Together, we've reflected on 5 common, yet often overlooked mistakes in old age, from neglecting health, clinging to negative habits, holding on to a victim mindset, underestimating financial realities, to the tendency to wait for someday. Each of these can quietly diminish our quality of life, but the good news is, every one of them can be changed. What did you take away from these reflections? What resonated with you the most? And if you could choose one small action to start today, what would it be? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I believe your story might inspire someone else as well. If you found this video meaningful, please click like or share it with someone you care about, because someone out there may be waiting for a gentle reminder to start living more fully, each and every day. This journey is not one we have to walk alone. There will be many more stories and heartfelt insights made especially for you, for those navigating aging with a desire to live authentically, deeply, and meaningfully. So stay connected, and let's continue walking this path together, because you deserve a life in old age without regrets, a time not just to survive, but to truly live. No matter your age, today is always a beautiful day to begin again, on your own terms.